Hey, good evening. All right, just got out of work a little early, not letting me work over tonight, but he gave me some advice, verses that are very important, and I'm gonna put them out there because I don't know, but judging by the progression of the verses he's given me, um, you know, I believe it's telling a bigger story for sure. So, and there are two of them. The really short ones, but they're great. And Paula, I seen a comment, and I had seen it before, but and I looked at it and just something stood out. I know it's the Holy Spirit. And you said something about Job. And as soon as I looked at that word, the Lord, His Holy Spirit in me said Job 14:6. And sure, that's the one, man. So don't ever think the Holy Spirit ain't using you for something. He's always using us. He uses His people, but you have to be open to that. He can't force. Well, He uses everybody, whether they know it or not. But when you allow Him, I mean, it's a beautiful gift. It's a beautiful gift. So it's a beautiful thing. So here's Job 14, verse 6. I'll read it the way it is in most of our Bibles and then take every word back to its origin. Using this is Job, so Hebrew lexicon and Strong's, but my sword has Hebrew and Greek lexicons for these words. All right, so here we go. Job 14:6. Now this is important, so pay attention. All these next two verses here are very important, very important. Turn from him that he may rest, till he shall accomplish as a hireling his day. Okay. Did you get it? Maybe in the context, you can see what's going on there of the whole verse or the whole chapter. But the Holy Spirit told me to zero in on this verse. Turn from him that he may rest, till he shall accomplish as a hireling his day. All right. So now let's take I can't see it. Let's take every word back to its origin using the lexicons and the Strongs and see what it says. Job 14:6. This is very important. This is why I'm putting this out tonight. Because I don't know. I'm just going to do as he leads and guides me. And if he wants it out tonight, I'm putting it out tonight. So there it is. Okay, Job 14:6. Look at with compassion and amazement the coming of the end. Be at rest and accept the accomplishment with delight, to pardon and have reconcile as a hired laborer and servant voluntarily for a short time, to open a banquet of light. So to open a banquet of the light of a lifetime. So, and if you look at the word banquet, because I was like, really, banquet? Why do you want me to put banquet? Why not a wedding or a feast or that kind of thing, but no, he said banquet, and define it, it's an elaborate and formal meal for many. So a banquet is an elaborate and formal meal for many. So this is such a beautiful verse. So it says, look at with compassion and amazement the coming of the end. Be at rest and accept the accomplishment with delight, to pardon and have reconcile as a hired laborer and servant voluntarily for a short time, to open a banquet of the light of a lifetime everlasting, full of life perpetually, in a way that never ends or changes, to remain. So I think he's telling us something's about to happen. I think we're far closer than most can imagine. And I think a lot of people are going to wake up when this occurs, whatever it is. Okay, so now the next one he gave me is John 13:34. So that's John chapter 13, verse 34. And I'll do the same thing. Read the way we'll see it in most of our Bibles, then take every word back. They're so short. So here we go. But they're meaningful. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. Okay. I think they got that one pretty, very close. I mean, I don't even know really after I went over it. I was like, why do you want me to go over this? Because they pretty much got that spot on. I mean, there's a couple things. And he goes, well, read it again and you'll see. And then I read it again. See, because as I'm writing, I don't know exactly how it's going to come out or what it's going to say until he leads me through it and I go back and go over it, and even then I might not I don't pick up on certain things, but it means different things, all true because it's coming straight from him. So here we go. John 13, verse 34. A new affinity of freshness, recently born and youthful, a new person which is prescribed. That means authorized for someone, especially in writing. So a youthful and new person which is prescribed by the writing, by his word. A commandment to be done, to enjoin, that's to be adopted and to join in towards, to attach to something, to be attached to something. To be done, to enjoin, to be adopted, right? And joined together by attaching in place and time, shortly, while in the end of a place being brought to completion, to give a gift to one to whom he already belonged, to return and be delivered up, to receive a yield, that's the harvest, by your purpose, for that love of persons, especially embracing the judgment of the heart, reciprocal, hard time saying this, reciprocally for one another, inasmuch as down in place and time, how greatly to be contented, denoting, which means marking, a personal attachment of the will. The two stand thus as one, related properly as a friend of the bridegroom, enclosing the marriage, the joining together. Indeed, likewise, love, welcome, and befriend one another yourselves. Okay, so I think we're going home and we're going to be welcomed and loved and befriended by the bridegroom, and it's a closing of the marriage. And the part that stuck out to me when I went through it, I'm like, Lord, it almost seems like I really didn't need to go through it. I mean, they pretty much nailed that one spot on. And he said, no, read it again. And the part that really stood out to me was this part where it says, we are to be done, to enjoin, to be attached together. And this says to be born a new person. Are we getting that mansion, which means metaphorically a body? But it could also mean a place of our own in his heavenly kingdom as well. I mean, I'm not going to argue about that. But I know it says metaphorically a body in some scriptures that I've taken back to their origin. But anyways, to be done and enjoined, adopted. So we're going to be adopted towards, towards and attached to. Okay, this is in place and time, shortly. It says shortly. While within the end of a place being brought to completion. So we're in the end in place and time that's being brought to completion right now. So, and could that mean brought up out of here, delivered up, like it said? Yeah, born, youthful, like it said in the earlier verse, didn't it? Delight, pardon, reconciled as a hiring labor, servant, voluntary, short. Well, anyways, I think we're about to see the end of something and the beginning of something else, maybe. And it just goes along perfectly. Everything that's happening we see is being played out. The Bible is being played out. Revelations is being played out right in front of us perfectly. It's being played out perfectly. And look, he forbid us to come here, but he allowed us to come here. He forbid it. To come into a body, to be made into the flesh, to be shown in our nakedness, right? A covering, okay? Because he knew how strong that delusion was. It's stronger than most people think. It's not the alien thing. It's not any of that. It's who you are and what this world is. It's a purification system for God's children, for his kingdom. He gave us free will. And we turned our face from our Father and were birthed into the flesh because we wanted to know good and evil. We wanted to experience. We couldn't ascertain the answer by a direct question. And he forbid it, but he allowed it. And I think all those who want to go home, who are born again of his Spirit, he's going to call up out of here and take home those who are born again spiritually and joined with his Holy Spirit. And those, even though they may be born again of his Spirit and understand a lot of spiritual truth and things, but they don't want to go. They're not ready. And that, in a way, I think that shows a kind of not trusting your Father to take care of everything and everybody else that you leave behind, when you go. And you might be afraid of the change, but I have complete trust and confidence and faith in him, in what his word says, because I can see it. I've been born again. I can see it. He shows me. He speaks to me. There's no doubt in my mind. I have no doubt. I have no doubt about it. I trust him fully. But I don't think, and this is coming from me, if you don't want to go, if you're not ready, if you want to hold on to this world and stay here, whatever it is you're attached to in this world that's holding you here, I think he's going to allow you to stay. It might be like them 5 unwise virgins. You have that oil, but it's not really shining bright. Your lamps aren't lit. You had to go buy more oil. Yeah. I wish everybody I knew and loved would be right there with us all when we get called up out of here into our real home, our place of origin, where we came from. It'd be a beautiful sight, be a beautiful thing. But I think we'll just be so overwhelmed with the presence of God and his love. It's going to be hard to focus on anything else, at least for a while, until he, straightens us out a little bit, gives us assignments or whatever we're going to do up there. Who knows? I don't know. But it's a beautiful thing. Rest assured of that. Okay, every NDE, all the people who have clinically been dead, when they went there, they never wanted to come back. They never wanted to come back. They never wanted to leave there because of the beauty and the peace and the love. So I believe that. I know because his word says it too. And I know. I have no doubt. All right, so there's that. Those 2 verses, and I put them out tonight because I don't know what's going to happen or when, but it says shortly, wrapping things up, coming to the end. Embrace it. It says to embrace it and be at rest and be at peace. All right, God bless. Have a great night. Bye.